Okay, let's have another game. I know I should be preparing, I suppose, for this afternoon, but my opponent plays d3 against the French. If you've got any ideas against the King's Indian attack system against the French, please let me know. I don't know what to do against it. I don't know. Okay, can I just try and win e5 and not c5? Or even just play for e5 if he takes. Just play for e5 in a big centre. So I'll delay taking on c5. Let's get a massive centre, maybe bishop g7 and just d4, e5, bishop g7 and just castle. Mind you, he's got bishop d6 if he wants it. I don't know, knight c5. Unless he's thinking about knight d5, he's going to try and bust me up quite quickly. Alright, so this has thrown him, not taking on c5 has thrown him a bit. Probably g takes f6 has also thrown him a bit. So we have an odd position. So what can White do? Is knight takes d5 a good way to try and smash me up here? Knight takes d5. Or just queen e2, what about king f7? Or knight takes c5? Or trying to use this diagonal maybe? Something like knight d4, or I don't know, how can you use the diagonal? Knight g5? Knight g5 looks tempting. Maybe knight e5? I can play knight g6. I'll play knight e5. So queen h5, knight g6. That was knight h7. That's the problem. So how about queen h5, king e7 instead? Try that. So maybe queen e8 next. So I'm protecting f7. A bit hairy, isn't it? So you could castle queenside, but then queen e8. If knight h7 is pin, doesn't look natural. Okay, so queen e8 here. If I can get in queen g6, he might have to go backpedaling. That queen moves. Okay, he's taking. So I've still got the centre. Alright, so I don't want to take that as bishop e5. How about just bishop takes c5? Any major disaster? Can't see one. Maybe I'll just put d6 after. So rook e1, bishop d6. Unless there's anything stronger, bishop f2. Rook moves. No. Bishop d6. That's knight e4. And bishop e7. So, massive pawns to attack. Actually, knight d3 is a threat with bishop f4 and bishop takes g5. After that last move, so knight e4, knight d3 takes with something. Bishop takes f4 and bishop takes g5. Interesting. He doesn't want to increase my centre strength with bishop c6, bc6, that's for sure, reinforcing d5. So knight d3 is on here. Is it worth taking the opportunity? I think it is, to win that dark square bishop. Unusual little tactic. So giving me two pieces to take, knight on e4 and knight on g5. I'll take the one on e4. In fact, why don't I keep the one on e4 threatened by just taking on g5 with the pawn, knight f6, king f7. Yeah, I'm on the d6 with bishop, so I think knight d3 was a good investment so far, winning 2 pieces for that 1 piece. Knight c5, king f7, queen, rook f3. Okay, get my king out of the firing line, but rook f3 is coming, but then knight d4. Okay, here, to stop rook f3, how about knight e5, or just bishop d6 again, or bishop c7 to avoid knight e4s. Bishop c7, rook f3, king g6, I think. Oh, here, can I just take on f4? He's going to undermine with f5 soon. Okay. I'll take on f4 anyway, I think, just to get the g file for rook g8. Then maybe a6 first, and then b5 or something. Just, I wanted to reinforce d5. Bishop a4, b5, bishop b3. Aha. Looks a bit desperate. If I take on b5 takes, rook f3. E6 is loose, I guess. As knight takes d5, I'll get maybe walloped a little bit. And this d4 here, d4, just trying to preserve my d5 pawn. Fe, bishop e6, rook f3 check. I can go back in that position. I think, to e7 without knight d5 check. So rook f3, king e7, there's no knight d5 check. So the pawn stops. Okay, so yes, there is a knight d5 check. What am I talking about? Ah, Muppets. So king d6. Knight takes c7. I'm just going to take that bishop and hope for the best. Get out the firing line of these checks, I think. So he has to do something like the rook. He's short on time. Protect my second rank. Double, in fact. Right. So I'm trying to evict this knight. Or knight e5. Or knight a5 to c4. I think. I don't know. Knight e5, attack the rook, which is just left them pre. He's resigned, so yeah, that was interesting. King was a bit exposed, queens came off, knight d3 was a bit neat, solved a few issues. However, f4, f5, thematic, trying to blast this structure to bits. I don't know, I should have just maybe stepped away somehow with a quick d4 straight off the bat here or something. Mind you, then he takes on c6. I don't know. So I think he just lost too much time on the clock, and he couldn't hold this with that amount of time. Comments or questions on YouTube? Thanks very much.